1, 2, 3, 4.
We're horny for love.
Cheers!
And welcome to Horny for Love. What is it? A wee little podcast about two reformed prudes reclaiming their sexuality weekly in Los Angeles.
That was excellent.
That
Thank
was
you.
really good.
I felt like it gave levels.
Yeah. Who are you?
Thanks for asking. I'm Andrea Lee Christensen. Don't forget the Lee. It reminds you that I'm Asian.
And I'm John Anthony Lafredo, which reminds you that I'm Italian.
Oh God,
which is
Important.
super important.
I wouldn't bring that up.
I think the mustache kind of covers that right now.
Italiano.
I do like the mustache.
Thank
also,
you.
Irish men very often can't grow facial hair.
Is
Is
that
this
true?
true?
I thought Irishmen, I imagine
Sometimes
them
yes.
with a red beard all the time.
Oh, I think that's more Nordic.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, are
Okay.
you Irish?
Yeah, I'm 100% Irish.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking from experience, can't
Who
grow
is
a
this
beard.
Irish girl sitting in between us?
Yeah, who? By now you guys are all wondering, who is this lovely voice? And this is our guest, the comedian, Ellory Smith.
Oh, I thought you were going
Thank
to say
you.
and writer, and then I was going to join
Okay.
you for the
I mean,
name.
whatever.
Shit, let's do it again.
No.
This is
the
the comedian and
writer,
writer,
sometimes
babysitter,
babysitter,
Ellory Smith.
Wow, thank you so much. What a rousing
Welcome.
introduction.
It had to
That
be
was
better than the first one.
No, that was great. That was great.
Welcome
How
to
are
the
you
couch.
guys? Thank you. I'm feeling very on the spot.
In the hot seat.
A little.
No, relax.
Do you
Okay.
date a lot of Irish men?
I have. I've dated a handful. Well, maybe only 2, but that's too many.
Okay.
Do you like beard or no?
Getting
This
right
is
into the
important.
important
I'm
question.
really
I'm
Do you
thinking
like
about it.
beard
I'm
or
really
no?
thinking about it. It depends on the guy. Some guys they look really good on. Some guys I'm not into it. Depends on who it is.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't-
fair.
I don't know if I've ever interacted with like a full beard.
I think I
Like
don't
a long
like it.
one. I don't think
Like,
I've
just like some hair sometimes.
really. My ex-boyfriend is Palestinian, and he had a lot of facial hair, but he shaved it, but it came back really quick, and I kind of
Uh-huh.
liked that.
Did he have hair
manly.
Everywhere else.
Everywhere, such a hairy chest, which I also love.
Me too. I like
Hairy
that.
ass, hairy back.
Yeah. He might watch this and he would definitely not be okay with me saying that he had a hairy back, but I never thought that your back was hairy. That was a problem you had, not me.
Oh,
I was pro. You were against.
Yeah, maybe there's some self-examination
Yes,
that needs
exactly.
to happen.
Body
there.
hair is
Exactly.
good and okay.
I'm so into it. And I think
Mhm.
he was like, no, it's gross. And I was like,
no.
no.
But my thing is that because I have been hooking up with someone who's like particularly hairy, it does get in your mouth,
It does get in your mouth. That's
which
totally
is fine.
true.
It's just like sometimes during
Like when
it also
you're-
can
wait,
cause a little friction.
it can.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about when you're like sucking dick and the pubic
Sure,
hair
that,
gets
but
on
Well,
also
that-
like
sure,
if you're
that.
kissing somebody's chest.
Yeah, their chest, their beard hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like
everywhere.
I rarely kiss a chest, but maybe that's something I need to incorporate.
You don't do nipple?
Do you?
I
Ellery?
don't know, but I will
Yeah.
kiss somebody's chest.
I feel like straight guys are a little nervous about nipple.
I feel like they're a little
Okay.
nervous about nipple for sure.
and anything they're nervous about, I too am nervous about.
See the nipple thing? I like can't tell whether or not. Like I don't know if it's doing what it's supposed to do, but I do.
I mean,
it.
what is it supposed to do?
Does it do anything to you?
It's just okay for me, but I
Yeah.
think some people it's really something for them.
I was just
Sure.
watching this porn where this this girl literally comes from touching her own nipples. Like she
How do
yeah,
you know that?
fake?
Yeah, that's fake.
it could
I
be
think that's
fake. It could be
Fake.
fake. It
Fake.
could be fake.
Although some people are like that, and I know that because you know Amy Silverberg.
No.
No.
Well, she has this joke about a friend of hers who really likes nipple stimulation, and the joke is that she was about to have a baby, and she's afraid that
no.
yeah, breastfeeding will make her come.
That sounds kind
Do you
of
think that happens?
good.
I don't know. I
I
know
think
sometimes
it
women
does.
come during birth.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard that. So
Well,
it's
I
like
feel like
you're
that could ease the
simultaneously
pain.
shitting and coming.
I do think it could ease the pain. I'm like, that is the best case
It
scenario.
sounds
Oh
ideal.
yeah, and you shit. I don't know. I don't know. if
Well, I
that's
feel
gonna
like
be my
we've just
journey.
gotten like so naughty so quickly, and I feel like I want the listeners to know you a little bit.
Okay,
more
great.
before
Yeah,
we're,
yeah,
like,
sorry
Let's backtrack.
jumping
diving
in the
into
deep end.
shitting, coming, and chest hair. So should we do like the big question?
Or should we ask her who she is?
Let's ask her who she is first.
And then we'll
Big
ask her the
question.
big
Yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah.
I mean, that's a big question in and of itself.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, who are you? How would you define
where'd
yourself?
You grow up?
I'm like getting it from all sides right now. I really feel.
I feel like we're your
Casting couch
parents and
vibes.
you're like a senior or junior in high school and like, where are you going to
Like, where do you wanna
college?
go?
Yeah, we're
What are
helping
you
you
doing
with
with
your
your life?
college apps right now.
Stressing me out already. That's so funny. Okay, which question am I answering?
Whatever you want.
I'm from a very small town in upstate New York,
Wait, where?
Cambridge, New York.
There's a Cambridge in New York?
See, this is why I just say upstate.
I'm from New York, Westchester though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am like 3 hours north of you. Like
Real upstate.
real upstate. I could walk to Vermont from my house growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was like a 1,600 people in the town. Very small. A village, not even a town.
Mm.
Wow. So did you know everybody?
Yeah, more or less.
Is
kinda.
everybody in each other's business like in those movies?
I think to a certain extent. I didn't go to school in the town. I went to school in another town. So I think if I'd gone to the high school, that would be very true. But yeah, my dad was like the town mechanic and sort of knew everybody and had grown up nearby and like would trade favors for like mechanic work. So we were pretty, I knew a lot of people.
It's
Yeah.
giving Gilmore Girls a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who were you in high school? If there was like a trope that you fit.
Ooh. Well, I went to a very small high school. I graduated with 25 kids. So there wasn't a huge.
Wait, whoa, sorry. I just processed that.
Wait.
25 kids in your
Yeah.
grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Very small.
It's like a classroom.
So it's like there's no like theater kids
There
section.
was like
it's one
not even
theater
really.
kid.
Yeah, basically. And there was also not really a theater program. Like they did
Oh.
a one-man show every year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like because it was
Into the
all
Star
it
or
was
you're
all
not.
grades, but it was like they did Into the Woods like 4 times.
Okay.
What?
Like genuinely, and it was just a weird. I never did theater, but yeah, sort of like there was like 4 really popular girls who played soccer and lacrosse, and then there was like some like less popular like really bookish girls, and then I was like sort of in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Really kept to myself.
Towing the line.
Towing the line. Definitely not popular. Not invited to parties ever.
The parties
But the
with
parties,
the
how good could they
25
be?
Kids.
Yes.
Yeah, how good
And
could they
also,
Well,
be?
there was a
How do they play soccer and lacrosse? You need the entire school to make one team.
no
25
Wait.
per
25
grade.
per grade.
Oh,
4
25
grades.
Okay,
Plus-
okay.
But that's
Some-
still
I
kind of
missed
like
that, I missed
limited.
that.
Sometimes they'd have 7th and 8th graders play too. If
Oh,
the 7th and
wow.
8th graders were
we need
good.
to pull
Yeah,
from
we're
the
scraping
junior
the bottom of the
junior
barrel.
varsity.
Definitely. Yeah, like I was on varsity track from 7th grade onward, just because if you were allowed to do that, if you were good enough, it was like
Mhm.
not really.
You're like out of the.
Yeah, if you showed up for
100
practice,
kids,
you were
yeah.
allowed to. Basically, so yeah, I had like big bangs in high school, dark hair.
Classic.
Oh,
Very
dark
classic.
hair.
Yeah, it
Because
was-
if you don't know Ellory,
I'm
she's
blonde.
blonde.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
did
sorry
your
for the
blonde
listeners at home.
journey start? Very important.
I'm gonna say like I was blonde as a kid. I want to be very clear about that.
You're like, I am at my roots.
Yeah.
At my roots, I'm blonde, but
So you've experienced that lifestyle before.
exactly. I'm not new. I'm
return.
not. It's a return. It's a comeback. I started going blonde like 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
2019, and then I fully committed 2021. I like bleached my hair for the first time. I was like sort of a dirty blonde, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna bleach it, and so I did it, and now that's what we're doing.
This is a bit of a pivot, but we have both dyed our hair multiple times. Like,
We're both
It's-
bottle blondes.
yeah, it's a.
At one
I was
it's a
supposed to
point.
your Instagram picture. Is you blonde, or am I making that up?
it probably was at some point. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like a bit of a commitment. A lot of
It's
upkeep.
A
It becomes
lot
expensive.
of upkeep. Well, my grandma is a hairdresser, so I actually do
Ah.
it myself.
Oh, perfect.
You
Yeah,
did
my
this
mom's
yourself?
I did the bulk of it myself, and now the roots are because I have really thick hair. I have a girl help me do the roots,
Mhm.
so I pay her, but like I did the bulk of it.
Wow.
Thank
it's
you.
looking
And she
good.
told
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you. But then I found this girl my friend Alyssa recommended this woman to me, who I love, and she does it from her apartment, and she's cheap, and so now I just do
Ooh.
that because it is a fucking process.
Are you
It
revealing or
is.
gatekeeping?
I'm gatekeeping. Sorry. You guys,
That's a good question.
you guys don't get to know her. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
But
I'll
she's great.
I'll
A
respect
woman
her
needs
privacy.
her secrets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her hair is full of secrets.
Okay, so when did you discover that you wanted to do comedy?
I'd always been a fan of comedy, like a big fan, but it never occurred to me that I could do it. And when I was 17, I worked at Trader Joe's with a woman who was a comedian, like a real comedian. Jay McBride. She still is a stand-up in New York. Slay. Just won a WGA award.
Really?
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
For
Go
writing on
her.
the Amy Schumer show.
Wow.
So she's like,
So it's fine that I'm still working in a restaurant and that one day I'll
that's
achieve something too.
literally what I'm thinking about
Yeah.
me. I'm like, okay, well, you know.
She did it, I'll do
she
it.
Genuinely, I do think I'm like, okay, if she did it, maybe I could do it.
I
Yeah.
do feel like comics skew older though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Especially writers,
Which
if you don't
is,
act.
you know, gives us hope.
Gives us hope.
Yeah.
I do think this is a tangent away from my story, but if you look at like everybody in the last few years who are really getting stuff like JFL, Comedy Central specials, whatever, I'm like, all those people are in their 30s.
Yeah.
I'm not in my 30s yet.
Mm-mm.
We're
Neither
like
are we.
mere babies. at
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
genuinely,
Like,
we're little.
we're in our gestational period.
Yes.
And I'm like, why shouldn't it be that way? Like, that's like when
No,
you
that's
get
how
good.
it should be.
Like, that's when you
Yes,
start settling into
exactly.
yourself. Like, you know
yeah.
who you
Life
are. Like, that's when you
experience.
want to like pop off.
That is when you want to pop off.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. It's. I'm having such an existential crisis about it lately. But anyway, Jenny, I started crying. Anyway, I was working at Trader Joe's when I was 17. I met this woman who was like a legit stand-up. And we were talking about comedy a lot. And she's like, wow, you're a real comedy fan. And I was like, yeah, I guess I am. And she was like, do you ever want to do it? And I was like, that never occurred to me. And she's like, well, just come to an open mic. So I did my first open mic when I was like 17 or 18. And then the rest, she like ruined the rest of my life. The rest is history.
How much
Did you
older
have
was she?
like material written?
Yeah,
for it?
I wrote
Okay.
down some material and I went up and I did my jokes and it felt really good. And then I just kept, I think she was late 20s, early 30s maybe
Okay.
when we
Okay.
met. Hard to
Wow.
remember because when you're like 17,
Everyone's
everybody
Yeah.
feels 40.
It's like if we now had a little protege.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
genuinely.
Yes.
Yeah, like one of the kids I babysit feels like I'm 40 and I'm like, you have no idea how young I am. Shut
Yeah.
up.
So you wrote stuff. You had stuff.
Yes,
prepared.
I had a little thing prepared. I've never been the type to, and I don't begrudge anybody who can go up there and improv, but I do think that there's a strain of people who at open mics don't have anything prepared and they're sort of like, oh, what else did I want to talk about? And I'm
That's
like, babe,
terrifying.
you have 4 minutes.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta. I'm like, if you're not here to work on something that you know you want to work on, you're wasting my time.
Wait, I actually have questions for you about this because
Okay,
we
go
met
off.
like when I first ever like probably like one of my first few open mics ever
Is that real?
in my life. Yeah.
Oh my
yes.
gosh, so you're a baby comedian?
100%.
Whoa.
Yeah, baby. I took a class last year and we like our assignment was to
Flappers?
West Side.
Okay.
Yeah. And our assignment, like after every class, was like to go to open mics and stuff. And I was like, this sucks. Like it just like it's kind of the worst feeling. I feel like going to an open mic when you don't know anyone
Yes,
and you're like
going
not in the
alone.
scene.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God.
Agreed,
Like it
agree,
feels like
agree,
you walked
agree.
into the wrong classroom.
That's a really good way to put
Yeah.
it. Which is why anytime somebody's like, oh, I think I want to get into comedy, I'm immediately like, let's go to an open mic together.
yeah, you have to go with
You have to go with someone.
Yeah,
it makes it easier. I go all the fucking time still, 10 years into comedy. Yeah.
Well, there's real community in it.
There's
too,
real
so.
community. Yeah, the hang, seeing your
Mhm.
friends. It's nice. And also, there are open mics. I mean, there are really bad open mics in the city, but there are open mics where like really, really talented people are going.
Mhm.
And so if I'm feeling like a little like burnt out or dried up or whatever, hearing like good ass jokes, I'm like, okay, I am feeling inspired. I have the juice back.
Yeah.
I mean, on my worst days, I'm like, fuck you people.
Right,
like
of
makes me so
course.
jealous. But on my good days, I think like going to shows and mics can really help me sort of fall back in love with it if I'm feeling stuck.
So do you still like fully prepare like for an open mic?
Yeah, I
To
still
this
write.
day.
I still write jokes down.
Yeah. Like how like for lack of a better term, scripted is it when you're like working on something?
Well, it starts not so scripted. It starts just as like a key idea with like, here, I have them on my phone. We can just go through.
Oh my gosh. This was like the greatest
Wow.
mystery to me
Is
when
this
I
the
was
behind the
starting to
scenes?
do stand up because we both went to acting school. So like I'm like memorizing, like I can't imagine performing without knowing what I'm gonna say.
Really?
So I would literally when I
Theater
first started
kid
going to, yeah,
background.
I
I
know,
write
down-
trauma.
I
I
write
think
down
it's like
every
detrimental
word.
for us as well.
Yeah, I was like going to these so rehearsed and I was like, you can't. It's like the antithesis of like being funny.
No, I don't think that's true. I think like my set is very carefully crafted. Like I
Uh-huh.
write down every word, and what I appreciate about stand up and why I think it is different from improv is that I am allowed the opportunity to pick the perfect word.
Yeah.
To really
Yeah.
put thought into
That's
it,
true.
to like, think about word economy, to how many words I'm using, how many
Mhm.
words I'm not using. Like, I really think that's an important part of
Mhm.
stand-up. So it's okay if it's scripted, but I do think it can make people, you can come across as stiff.
Yes.
Were you ever an actor too, or not?
No,
really?
no.
Yeah.
Sometimes every so often I will act in stuff, and it's just not really my acting is just talking really loudly. Like, genuinely not good.
Well, you know, a famous note
I was
that
gonna
directors give is louder and faster.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Like
really,
the guy who did like The Favorite, Yorgos Lanthimos
Uh-huh.
or whatever, like apparently he doesn't talk to his actors about character like at all. He's just be like, "No, that's why I hired you. You're the one that has to think about it." And like the only note he will give is faster.
Whoa.
Are you familiar with the playwright David Mamet?
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to like his acting school, and he like became super.
Is that
like,
in New York?
Yeah. Yeah.
His main thing is fuck acting school. You don't need
Yeah.
it. And then he made one.
And then, well, no, that was before. And then after he made one, he was like, fuck hacking school, you don't need it. And then he also became a Trumper and is wild. And he would just be, that's all he would say. Like, he would come in for like a final scene or whatever, all class, whatever.
Is this acting for screen?
Everything.
Everything.
For
Well,
everything.
mostly theater. Mostly
I
But
theater.
feel like
his notes would just be
theater-
like louder.
Yeah.
Louder.
That's for theater, I feel like, to the back of the room.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
for screen acting, I'm like, you have to be a little bit more nuanced. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, so I just think it's really hard. And I'm like, I'm doing enough. I don't need to be
Yeah.
doing fucking self tapes.
Well,
and
isn't
like,
stand-up theater?
stand up is theater. Stand up
It
is
is
fully theater.
theater.
But the thing is like, I get to play myself.
Right.
And so it's,
Mhm.
or a version of myself.
Mhm.
I feel like it's also more pressure though, because like if you flop up there, it's like all on
It's
you.
just
Yes.
you.
I do
made
think
You
that's-
wrote
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're performing
Yeah.
this.
People don't
Yeah.
like you. And I definitely
Yeah.
did. I wrestled with that for a long time, where bombing would really hurt my feelings.
Uh-huh.
Like, really
Mhm.
hurt my feelings. And then as you get more into it, you get tools where you can sort of like salvage a bomb.
Uh-huh.
So, maybe the audience isn't feeling it. You can pull it back and change directions and go a different way. But that takes a while to
That
like.
sounds advanced.
That's what
to really
scares me
learn.
about being scripted is that like if you're bombing, you're
Well, you just
stuck.
have to have a Rolodex in your head
yeah,
of stuff.
like I've got to like switch to
I've
the
gotta
other
switch
story.
to something,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Or being like, instead of telling this joke here, maybe I'll tell this joke here. And that just
Right.
happens when you are able to write enough material.
Yeah.
And I have one of my sets from a wife cereal
Okay.
mic. So I do like these
Love
are
that mic.
they're like little chunked bits, and so it's like a premise, like, okay, somebody hacked into my Twitter. And then as I get into it, like, this is a longer bit that I've been working out for
Uh-huh.
more, which is about the Vietnam War, LOL. and
Hilarious.
this, you can see this is a little bit more scripted. Like, it has some actual phrases I want to work in. So when I'm trying to iron something out, I have the premise.
Uh-huh.
I have maybe like 3 points about it that I definitely want to say. And then as I keep running it and keep running it and keep running it, the words will come.
Yeah.
And like, I'll figure out what makes people laugh, what is confusing to people, what information they need, what
Wow.
information they don't need, stuff like
It's
that.
like so technical.
It is
It's really technical.
technical.
Yeah, no, but that's what makes it nice. It's like it's like a math problem. You can, if you can
Mhm.
plug all the pieces in, you can make it work.
Wow.
That's what makes it so cool too, 'cause like when you are performing it and you've gotten the technicality so right and it's so funny, it's like, yeah, I figured it out.
Yes. Oh my God, it
Mm.
feels so good. Especially like when you're able to surprise people
Yeah.
with a punchline. Like, I think because comedy is so democratized now, which is good, but people see so much of it,
Mhm.
it's a lot harder to surprise people. And
Mhm.
sometimes you'll have a premise and people will laugh, being like, because they know what's coming next.
Mm.
So if you're able to like get them on that track and then pivot in another way,
Yeah.
it feels like
oh yeah.
doing a
Tricked ya.
yes, it feels like doing a magic trick. Really,
Uh-huh.
it's like
Oh,
very
That's a good way of putting it.
Wait, so then you wrote for a cartoon?
yes. I wrote
Yes.
for Robot Chicken on Adult Swim
Ooh.
from 2017 to 2021.
Was that
Oh, that's
were
a
you
long
on from the
time.
beginning or
No,
It
no,
started
no.
before.
It started before. I was on season 6. I want to say was my first
Okay.
season, maybe season 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so it was on for a while?
It was on for a while. It was I had watched it in high school.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
So I knew
Yeah.
the show really well, and I was very excited to work on it. And I was a huge Adult Swim fan growing up, until we got rid of cable. But up until then, I was a huge Adult Swim fan, and I had always loved cartoons, still loved cartoons. So it really meant a lot to me to be able to work on the show.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Wait, did the show just end? Like it's
Yeah,
done?
it's not coming back. So I mean, it
I didn't know if
also-
like you left the show or
no,
the
no,
show
no.
ended.
The show ended, and also it was non-union, so I always had to have another job while I
Wait,
was
what?
working.
Oh, that's
While I was working on the
That's
show.
a thing.
Wait,
oh
it's
my
wacko
God.
that you can write for TV for many seasons and not be
Still
in the
need
union.
another job. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh,
I
really?
had-
You had to
I
have a
had-
survival job?
Yes, I had 2 jobs every time I was working there.
You've just
Oh my
you've just
God,
like
what the
stomped all over
hell?
my heart.
I'm sorry. That's just like that's what the writer's strike is about right now.
Yes.
It's a really tough industry. If you don't have money already,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
like I have 3 Emmy nominations and I can't survive. Like, and I always had to have 2 jobs working there, and I love that place and they were so good to me, and like they
Yeah.
gave me my start, and I have those Emmy nominations because of them, and so I love them. But it really is a system-wide issue.
Wait, so we should have introduced you as Emmy nominated.
Yeah, what the heck?
Comedian.
We totally buried the lead there.
I don't
Emmy
really know.
nominated
Way to
comedy
sneak that in.
I don't really lead with it, because
She's a humble queen.
well that, and also because the facts of my life, like I never talk about it on stage, because when I talk on stage, I'm talking about like babysitting, and
Right.
Right.
it's very hard for audiences to sort of
connect to
Emmy
nominated.
yeah, exactly, because truly most people don't understand that you can have an accolade like that and also still need like a fucking low wage, low skilled job.
Yeah.
Like I was a
Mhm.
line cook over the pandemic. I was like
Were you
working
really?
at yes.
That's not low. I
Wow.
mean, that's a really hard job.
It is a hard job, but you know, like I worked at when I was working at Robot Chicken, I was also working at a dog hotel.
I
Oh
feel like
my
I've heard you say
Yes.
something about this in
Probably
stand-up.
heard that joke before. Yeah.
Yes.
So like, you know, the landscape is tough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
the
I hope
landscape
that
is
something
tough.
really
What's it
good comes
like?
out of this
Yeah.
strike.
Me too. I remain ever hopeful.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I hope that other people know that they can strike and they can take their labor away from the people
Mhm.
who are misusing it and robbing them blind.
Yeah. Damn.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very strange time to be. So I'm sorry that you're starting. Like, this is a really tough time to be starting.
Well, like we went to acting school, and then after I left school, I was like, I just want to write, and I'm basically just a playwright for like a while, and I'm still doing that. And
I
like,
love that.
it's funny because like
Not
I've
a
been
huge
doing it.
scene out here.
No, but
But because of
weirdly
that-
enough, I have like my biggest opportunity so far out here in
Really
LA.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm like developing this show at a theater, and it's like a real theater, and I was like,
Wait, can I ask
cool.
which one?
Yeah, it's called the Boston Court
Really?
in Pasadena. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's so
It
exciting.
was a super cool opportunity, and I'm like, so weird that I moved to LA and now something.
Well, because the scene is smaller, it's easier to break
I
in.
kind of feel that way.
I think that's so true. It's like me starting stand up in Albany, New York. Like,
Yeah.
It took me 1 year to be like a middling comic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the comedy, I feel like it was just like, I don't like want to be a stand up. I'm just like, it's a really good practice for me to like
Yes.
be funnier, like be like learn how to like craft something, like to communicate story.
It's such instant feedback.
Yes.
And you don't have to have a table read to get it.
100%.
So I think stand up's good for everybody. Also, it's a really good way to meet people.
Yes, and that's what I want to do too. And then it's like I want to meet people who work in TV and all of that stuff. But it's like, gosh, like not even like plays. You don't get paid anything like to be
Yeah.
a playwright. And it's like, damn, I was really hoping with TV you might be able to make a dollar.
I just don't think there's money anywhere right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Do it for the love of the craft.
You really, I have been coming to terms with that recently, where I'm like, I might just always have to have 2 jobs, and that'll just be my life. But like, every so often I check in with myself, because I also dropped out of college.
Where'd you go?
I went to Emerson,
Oh,
Boston.
Boston, exactly. So every so often I check in with myself, and I'm like, how are we feeling? Like, should we start pursuing other things? And I just don't feel that way yet.
same.
I mean, I do a lot of copywriting. I do a lot of marketing work. Obviously, I babysit. Like, I have my side hustles.
Yeah.
But I'm just, you know,
So your resume stacked.
my resume is pretty stacked.
Dog hotel.
Dog hotels.
Hotelier.
I was a
For pooches.
like dog actor, dog sitter, which means I dog sat for dog
That
actors.
actually sounds so
Oh
fun.
my
Wait, were they like
God.
mean, the dogs?
the dogs? No, they were
What
fine.
the owners mean.
Yeah, the owners were a little mean.
It sounds like they
Or
would
like
be.
sometimes I would have to deal with the dog's agent, which I was just like,
Oh
this is
my
Oh
God.
my God.
so
Wait,
demoralizing.
did you have to be like a set person for a dog?
No.
Okay.
Although one time I did work for this dog toy company, and we ran a
So you're a dog person. I'm gathering.
I've had a lot of different lives. Okay, I was working for this dog toy company,
She's
and
not even 30.
that's what it means to be poor, guys. Like seriously, you have to wear so many different hats. But anyway, so I was working for this dog toy company, and they had an Instagram pop up where like celebrity dogs could come and like sort of like an influencer event.
Celebrity dogs.
Yes, you know how like
Not-
Horny.
yeah.
Not dogs of
Like
celebrities.
Doug
Celebrity
the pug.
dogs.
Yeah, celebrity dogs. And so they could come and take Instagram pictures like at these little different stations that we had set up. So truly like an influencer event for dog influencers. Influencers that were dogs.
LA's so dark.
LA is so
It's
dark,
so
dude.
dark.
Okay, listen to this. People came, they had a business card for their dog. And a lot of the people were giving their dog like Xanax to make it chill so that it would pause for the pictures.
fans.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
fucked
God.
up.
Exactly.
They're drugged just like
they're
the real
drugged,
celebrities.
yes,
Just
They're
like Judy
drugs.
Garland.
Yes. Dude, exactly like Judy Garland. And then the dogs will die and the parents now have a decision of, okay, well, we have this, our dog was our business.
Right. You have to get another one.
We have to get another one, but do we keep the page up in memoriam? Do we switch it over? Like, what
Ooh.
are the PR
are the
implications
ethics?
of that?
So true. I actually do think about this because there's some dogs that are famous on TikTok, and I'm always like, what happens when they die?
Exactly. It's a whole
Yeah.
economy. It's the
Wow.
creator economy.
Fuck. Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok, but I really don't like to be, so I try not to. Like,
Same.
I don't scroll anymore. I will post stand-up clips.
Yeah.
But the older I get, the less inclined I am to really post my face online.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. I just like need more privacy than that. I
It's
think
not your game.
It's not my game. I
feel
just like cannot.
I'm in the beginning of my Instagram hoe era.
Yeah, I feel, and that's fine, and that's good.
I'm
And
not
like,
in the beginning. I'm in the midst.
yeah,
I'm
I
still
think
very
that,
much
like,
posting face and ass.
Yeah. It does almost feel, I guess I got to a point where I'm like, it almost felt like that was necessary. And I just
Yeah.
resented that a lot. And then
Mhm.
it's like, when you, to certain people, when you are only a one-dimensional being, when they don't know you, they just
Mhm.
know your Instagram presence, their Twitter presence, your TikTok presence, you cease being real. To them, you're fake. And so, like, just the comments or, like,
Yeah.
whatever, like, just, it felt like everybody had access to me. And I was like, maybe that's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you get to that point, like in your online presence, where you felt that?
Definitely. Definitely.
Wow.
And people would like message me like they knew me or like dump stuff on me and I feel this way, like it feels like now you have to post clips on Instagram, stand-up
Yes.
clips.
It's annoying.
It's
Yeah.
annoying. And also men hate female comedians. They
Yeah.
hate them.
Wow.
And so every day I get some dog shit comment and it's just like, and now I don't read them obviously, but it's so, I'm like, I shouldn't have to guard myself like this. Like
Right.
this is the first time
Yeah.
in all of human history that the whole world has access to me, to saying shit to me or to my content. And they have no ability to be like, oh, this isn't for me. Scroll away.
Yeah.
Like they have to engage. They have to comment. And sometimes I'll tell people that and they'll be like, well, the engagement's good. Like if people are fighting in your comments, it means that like your video is getting more views. And I'm like, that's not what I want.
People say that.
At what
they're
cost?
like,
I truly
as
at
long
what
as they're
cost?
paying attention to you,
Yeah.
as long as
Yeah.
they're talking about
But that's,
you.
I like genuinely don't really want to be famous. Like
Yeah.
I think that fame is a prison. I think it's like truly I do.
It is.
And I think to be famous, you sell away parts of yourself that people don't like. Like you have to be so one-dimensional, marketable, like for everybody, and that is such a soul-killing endeavor.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I would so much rather. I've always wanted to be a writer. That's all I
Mhm.
want to be. And like the fact that I have to get Instagram famous to get staff meetings.
It's crazy.
I'm like, dude, fuck that. Like, I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to be an editor. I don't like, you know.
It is. It is. It
Mhm.
is. It's dark.
It's really dark. It's really, really dark. And it's all like fucking venture capitalist, like, you know, culture
Yeah.
where there's, oh God, I'm just sorry.
You're like, I'm in a
Okay,
wormhole.
I'm
do
really
you feel
leaning in.
like being a comedian has affected your dating life?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
It's a good question. Yeah, I guess it has. I was talking to somebody about this the other day about how I kind of bury the lead. When I'm on my
That
dating,
you're a comedian?
yes, on my dating profiles, you can't. But there's no indication that I am in comedy.
She's just a normal girl,
Yes,
like
that
I'm a
everyone else.
comedian.
I'm just another blonde girl in
I
LA.
just work at a
Exactly.
dog hotel.
Yes, literally. I am very, very secretive about it. And I kind of bury the lead until we're like a little bit further in. But I do think that when I was like more forthcoming about it, people were so weird. Men were weird. I date men and women. So men were really weird about it, where they were always like, oh, like, I've always thought about doing that, or I bet I could do that, or
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Are they like? I forgot my. Oh yeah, are they like? Can you like not talk about me on stage?
Yes, you get that one a lot. Or I think more commonly it's put, oh, well, will you talk about me on stage?
Oh
Or
my
like,
God.
I want it.
will I be in one of your jokes? And I'm like, unless you do something really crazy, like, no, you
No,
won't.
yeah,
Like,
please. I hope you're not.
I hope, yeah, you should hope
Like-
that you are not.
Are girls like that too?
Not really. Like, I just posted this joke on TikTok that is about this other girl who she's TikTok famous, and so of course she saw it,
Oh no.
but
Oh,
she
man.
laughed, and she had such a good sense of humor
Okay,
about it, and I was
nice.
like, God, thank you.
I actually had recently, because we have this podcast, and like last season was mostly just us. Like we rarely had guests, so we were like very much chronicling like our sex lives, like week by
Every
week, which was an insane thing to do. And I was always like, this is crazy. Like, what if this person hears this? But I just had a really positive, hey, if you're listening, had a really positive one where I didn't say anything crazy. It was just like
Yeah.
talking a lot about him and our experience together, but he like loved it.
Oh,
I had both, or I accidentally talked about my coworker that I had messed around with on the pod.
okay,
And
that's first mistake right there.
well, yeah.
Which one? Talking about
I'm-
it or doing it?
No, doing it.
Um,
Don't fuck coworkers. As
Yeah.
I don't have sex with comedians.
Ever?
Ever, not ever.
Well, what about that female comedian? The TikTok, or are they
Oh,
just
she's
TikTok
a
famous?
TikToker.
Okay,
Yeah,
not a comedian.
she's not a comedian. She doesn't do
Okay,
stand up.
okay, okay.
That's actually, you
Cool.
should bleep that out. That's too
We'll bleep that out. We'll bleep that out.
specific.
She does something that we'll never say.
She does something that you guys will never know, but she has a niche content, and she has like a real job. She's like, you should bleep
Oh,
that
we're
out
gonna
too.
bleep
Sorry.
that out too.
Fuck.
she does
You know what her
beep
name
on
is?
TikTok.
I'm like, oops, did I just give away the whole?
She lives that.
Anyway, so you messed around with your coworker, talked about it on the podcast.
And then, well, here's the thing. I said I hooked up with a coworker, said he was, and I only hooked up with him because he was so boring I didn't want to talk to him any longer.
Oh my god.
Then I hooked up with
We've all been
another
there.
coworker the next night and had a lot of fun. And then I put that on the podcast, and then a hostess heard it, sent it to the first guy.
Oh my God.
And then by 5 minutes later, the entire restaurant was like,
Dude, restaurants
So-
are like
We
that.
both work in
Nobody
restaurants.
Yeah.
fucks more than the staff of a restaurant. And
Yes.
I
Yeah.
often, something that's very funny to me is going into a restaurant and trying to decide who's fucking who.
that's a good game.
I've never tried that before. It's so
we
stupid.
need to
I'm
do
doing
that. Who's fucking who?
Who's fucking who? Who's mad at who? It's
It's
so,
really
it's
a dr-
delicious.
It's like a family drama.
It is a family drama. It's
Yeah.
so, oh my gosh.
Wow,
Absolutely.
That's so fun. You were a line cook.
I was
Did you
a
ever
line
work front
cook.
of house in a
I
restaurant?
never worked. Well, one of my first jobs was in like a bakery restaurant when I was
Uh-huh.
like 13. And so
Illegal?
Is that legal?
no. And I would but it was like a family friend, so I guess it was like I got paid in cash. But I would like bring people their like soups or whatever,
Uh-huh.
their pastries.
Cute.
But I've never worked in and also the restaurant that I worked at where I was a line cook was really small. It was like 4 or 5 people.
Is it in LA?
It was in LA. Yeah, so there wasn't a ton of that going on just because.
But even, and I'll say where, because I didn't work there, but I ate there. At
Say it.
Goldberger's.
Okay.
Is that what it's
You
called?
could tell everyone was fucking each other.
No, but it's like it's here. It's on Vermont next to the
Oh.
movie theater.
Okay.
I like got a burger there once and was just like watching them all interact with each other. It was actually they were getting a health inspection, and so that was happening. And then like it was like a bunch of like kids, like teens, I think, like working there, and they were like all friends with each other. And I was just like,
Fun.
I feel like I'm watching a TV show right now.
That's so fun. I love
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
think it's what's funny about a day job is like when you like the crew and management isn't up your ass, it can be so fun.
Yeah.
But if any of those one things changes, it becomes hell on earth.
You're forgetting the third thing.
What's the third thing?
At least in restaurants, the guests.
Oh, the guests. Yeah. Well,
Because that will sour everything.
But the thing is, well, twofold. First of all, I always try to arrange my schedule so that I don't have to see any guests. So I'm like, I'm back of house. I'm early morning shifts.
Yeah.
I'm closing, whatever. Not closing because of stand up. And then secondly, like when you have a bad guest and you all get to unite against their ass and like talk shit or like whatever, like decaf their coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the small power that workers have, where it's like it truly, and it becomes a war of attrition against like you and your coworkers and then the public.
Yeah.
And like how awful the public can be to you. Yeah.
Sometimes the only power you have is to say no.
Oh my God.
And
I will be so rude to people.
I am sometimes. Like I really, oh my God, I feel so burnt out. Like before the pandemic working in service, I felt burnt out. And then just like having to work through the pandemic in service. And now like as the world has changed so much.
I feel like it made people such bad customers.
Oh, horrible.
Horrible.
And now I just have even less patience for it.
No,
I'm
I
just
know,
like,
me too.
Oh, behave yourself.
Truly. But now I feel like, because when I was a kid, like when I worked at Trader Joe's, I got a lot of shit, I feel like, from customers. And just took it on the chin and was like, so like,
what were they mad about?
just any one goddamn thing, like not being able to buy avocados for this price or like whatever.
Because you're the one setting the
Right.
price.
Yes, dude. But exactly,
Little
like
teen me.
that's the face you see, so people would like
Yeah.
act out to you.
Yeah.
And like I just had no skills to deal with it, and now I'm like at a point in my life which is what I love about non-industry day jobs, because you can burn bridges and it doesn't matter.
This is true.
Fair.
So my big thing is like, if somebody says something really mean to me, I'll be like, did you mean to say that?
That's
Wow.
incredible.
And then if they go up one more, I'm like, actually, you can't talk to me like that.
I'm not gonna get into it on the pod right
You
now because it's
should.
like really fresh, and
You
it just happened
should.
to me last night.
Oh no.
And I had a horrible night working at this restaurant I work at. And
Sir.
this fucking mega bitch. Like, all I'll say is that she chased me into the side station.
Are you kidding?
Well, sorry, she ripped her heels off and
Are
came
you
into the
joking?
side. No, I'm not joking. Came into the side station and
Whoa,
was
I'm
screaming at me and my
sorry.
manager.
Why was she so upset?
Who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
It like
Yeah.
started
It's
from
never
nothing
about
and
the
then
thing.
became
Yeah.
bigger and bigger
Holy,
and bigger.
Was this in the beginning of the night?
No, of course not. It was
At
the
the
very
end,
end of the
very
night.
Right.
And so
Okay.
therefore she's also keeping me later and later and later.
Was she wasted?
No.
Did-
Whoa.
And I
Oh
told
my
my hairdresser
God.
this morning and she's asked the same thing and I was like, I wish she was drunk so
Yeah.
that there was like a
A
reason.
reason.
Oh my god.
And I didn't I bit my tongue. Like my face said everything because she was like, and that face you're making right now, you're so fucking rude. Like whatever.
I'm like, you are not acting
And
appropriately.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what face do you expect me to be making?
Truly.
When
you're
you're
lucky I'm not saying
screaming at
shut the
me.
fuck up, you dumb bitch.
How
Literally.
do people live their lives this way?
they're just
It's
not
so
they're
insane.
not healed, and I'm like, this is so clearly not about the food that I got wrong or whatever.
Whatever
it's about the fact
happened.
that you have no control in your life and
That
you have
you
no
hate
agency
your life.
and you are screaming, and the wounded child inside you is screaming for attention. You never pay attention to them, and so now you're acting out on me,
Right.
and I make $15 an hour.
Yeah, so shut up, troll.
Shut up.
Troll.
Fucking shoes were ugly and your dress was ugly.
That's why you have to be like so. You have to treat them like they're infantile. Just
Yeah.
truly being like, are you sure that that's how you want to act right now? Like, is everything okay with you?
I wish I just like
Like,
took control of the situation
Is
more.
that what you want to bring
When it
here?
catches you off guard, it's
Yeah.
like hard to have a
No, it
coherent
really,
thought
And that
about
was
really is. It
not
really
the
is.
only problem for me that night. So it was like there was
Really?
like other, and I was just
Oh,
like,
no.
I
See, that's
can't. I'm at my
awful.
breaking point right
I
now.
would have
I
loved
can't
to
be
smack
public-
a bitch.
I can't be
Me too.
public facing anymore. Truly,
it's
I can't.
so
I would so
hard.
much rather work with kids or like dogs instead of like.
As we know.
As we know.
Guys, do you think humanity is inherently good or evil?
Remains to be seen. I'll let you know when I'm in my 30s.
Then
Then you'll have all the
Yeah.
all the answers.
Once I'm through my Saturn return.
I think people really want to be good, but the material conditions of their life make it hard to act that way.
And our
Mhm.
society is
And
difficult.
our society is difficult, and because we put money and success and productivity ahead of everything, it makes it really hard to be good people. And so I really try to like see the child in everyone. It's not
Oh.
easy,
You're
but I
being
do
the
try.
bigger person. What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius. I've done a lot of work
Ooh.
on myself.
Therapy?
Yes, lots and lots and lots of therapy. Very intensive, very, very expensive. I think I used to be a really angry person. I think I have that streak in me still. But it came to a certain point where I was like, I just have to heal this.
Yeah.
And so now I'm pretty zen.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
You feel zen to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once I got my mood in order, my life sort of shifted in a good way.
So, okay, I'm going to pivot a little bit
Yeah.
to dating
Yes.
more.
Okay.
So when you're on a date, a first date, we'll
Uh-huh.
say, how do you know, like, that the person sitting in front of you is someone you want to spend time with?
I think that first dates are hard when you're a comedian because you are so good at conversation. So it can feel like it's going really well. And then you get to date 2 and you're realizing that you were just actually setting them up for softballs.
Yeah.
And you were like so in love with your own personality that you're like, oh my God, this felt
This went
great.
so well. We
Yeah.
talked for hours.
Exactly. But you just get to demonstrate like your little routine. And so I think that was hard for me at first, and now I'm pretty good about being like, I can tell within like the first hour if that's somebody I want to spend time with again. Where I'm like, okay, I can pick up on somebody's political leanings pretty quickly. So I'm like, that needs to be in order. They need to be able to laugh at my jokes.
That's key.
Truly, well, like just understand, be able to riff with me, and then there
Yeah.
are people with certain jobs that I don't date anymore.
Like what?
Like what?
I won't date anybody in real estate. I won't date anybody in finance.
Wow.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Why not?
Our core beliefs about the world are just very different.
They're people that are more
Fair.
money-centric.
Money centric. I do a lot of work in the housing space in LA, and so I have
do.
a lot of opinions about that. And so I don't need the arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not going to happen.
It's not going to work. You need to find people who are sort of on your same path or wavelength and sort of want the same things out of the world. And
What are you looking for?
like in love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you
That's a
dating right
tough-
now?
I am dating. I'm seeing somebody.
Oh!
It's
Are they
pretty
TikTok famous
new.
too?
They are not TikTok
You
famous.
guys exclusive?
I think so.
Oh, but you haven't like DTR'd yet.
We haven't really talked about it, mostly because I don't want to yet.
Yeah.
But also, I don't sleep with 2 people at once. That's just not something I can pull off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
It is hard.
Um,
I'm like, how do you have the time?
that's exactly how I
First
feel.
question.
That's exactly how I feel.
Date. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. You start to forget who told what story.
Dude,
like
That's
who knows
so
what
true.
about
That is
you.
that's the real problem. That's the real problem is like the who heard what thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and you have to sort of change modes because like people need different things.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I barely have time to masturbate. Like, how could I have sex with more than one
More than one
person?
Are you
person.
kidding?
I
That's
have,
like
like,
something
time
you need
once
to
a
do
week.
every day.
I also do that every day.
Yeah,
I
but it's
feel
like
like-
quick. Like
yeah,
it's
it
like
can
I
be
just
quick.
need to
It
get
goes so
this out of the
fast.
way and then we'll start.
Exactly.
Are you
It's
a
like
morning
brushing your
person?
teeth.
I'm a
Yeah,
nighttime.
Well,
I'm a
I'm
nighttime.
both.
I'm a nighttime.
I did night last night because I was awake because I drank a late coffee
Okay.
and I was on TikTok for too long, so my brain was up.
Yes.
You know, so
Yeah.
I was like,
that's how
yeah.
to go to sleep. That's my go to sleep thing.
Oh, nice,
Wait,
a little
TikTok or
relaxation.
No.
masturbating?
Jerking off.
TikTok.
I'm very good about not scrolling on
I
TikTok
need
anymore.
to stop.
My brain got so much healthier when I stopped.
Mine feels like it's getting unhealthy.
Like it felt like I couldn't formulate a full thought.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
It's
Oh,
me. It's
yeah.
pooping in TikTok. And I'm like,
That's
Get a
his
book.
problem.
You got to get a book.
I'm like, and then sometimes when I'm writing, I'm like, I have to keep my phone away. I have to keep my phone away. And then I'll like check every now and then. And then randomly 10 minutes later, I'm like, wait, how did I get
Dude,
on
yes.
Instagram?
I need to get
I
a-
wasn't supposed to be doing
I
this
need
right
to
now.
get like a phone lockbox or something.
Yeah.
I need to get like a man with a gun to come in my apartment and put one at my
Put
head
it down.
so I write something.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Okay, do you believe in love?
Wait,
yes,
wait.
of course I believe in love.
Do you believe in the one?
I think there are many ones. I don't really believe in
Mhm.
the one. And also I really, more so than romantic love, I believe strongly in community love and like platonic love.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that like I feel like my life is very full of like I have lots of neighbors who love me. I have families that I babysit for who love me. Like I have friends who love me. So my cup feels very full from
Yeah.
that. So I feel a little bit less desperate dating for romantic love because I
Uh-huh.
already feel so loved.
That's beautiful.
What about
thank
sex?
you.
Though?
Sex? Oh, Yes, I'm
But
dating for
love
sex.
and sex doesn't have
Yes.
to.
They don't have to,
They don't
be
have to
mutually
come
exclusive,
together.
But when
It's
it do
best when
it,
they
it's
do.
it's great,
Yeah.
definitely. But they don't have to. But I think like, because I was in a really bad relationship for a long time, and so getting out of it and sort of healing from that, and like trying to be like, okay, well, what patterns am I getting away from? What am I not going to do again? Like, I think a lot of women of a certain age are like very nervous that they won't find the one. And I think being desperate for romantic love puts you in a very vulnerable position where you're then more likely to date somebody who's not good.
Yes.
Or willing to put up with attitudes that are not kind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I've
Yeah.
experienced that. That was like my whole first half of my 20s.
Yes.
Yes.
That also, self-love is like that's so gay, but like self-love is so important in that, where
Yeah.
it's like if you have to be so like fully healed within to be able to then like date other people, you know what I mean?
And I feel like the
otherwise,
more you heal, the more you recognize how much other people haven't healed.
yes, dude, that's
And then you're like,
the catch
"Fuck,
22.
I can't date you now.
No, exactly. That's the catch 22. It's
I
good
see
and it's
it.
bad, but it is. But you do see it in other people,
Yes.
and it's crazy.
Yes.
And it's also crazy, like for me, so much of the partners I was choosing was like me recreating my childhood.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna keep chasing that thing unless I really figure out like how to heal from childhood. I'm gonna keep seeking out that same sort of chaos. And so I had to be like, okay, I'm not like, I didn't date seriously for like a year and a half. And I wanted to go longer, but then I met this person, and so now we're seeing each other. But that's why I don't want to have the conversation yet, because I'm like, am I ready? Do I
Yeah.
still have more work to do? You know.
How did you meet? Can we say?
No, because it's too.
It's too specific?
It's too specific.
Wait, can you
Was
say
in
what
real life
was it?
or
Yeah,
at?
online or real life?
It was in real life.
That's so nice.
Sort of. It was sort of in real life. It was they're a friend of a friend, and they got my contact information for a work thing, and so they reached out for a work thing,
Ooh.
and then we got coffee,
And it became a date thing.
and it became a date thing, and I
That's
was like,
such a
what is the
surprise.
vibe
Yeah.
here? I was like, this is the
You-
longest coffee I've been on in my
say
life.
that you find love when you're not expecting
God,
it.
so true.
I always hate that saying, because I'm like, well, I don't know how to not expect it. So does that mean I'm never going to have it?
Wide open. I'm looking for it.
But that's what I mean, is when you're focusing on your own shit,
Yes.
things just come, good things come your
Right,
way.
right.
And I also tell people, like, the way to really find people you like to be around is to do shit you already like to do.
Yes.
Take a class that you're interested in, go to open mics,
Uh-huh.
volunteer with a thing that you really care about. Like,
Yes.
those places will already be full of the people who agree with you on some stuff.
Yeah.
You have similar interests. It's a very good way to sort of get the ball
That's
rolling.
what I tell people. I'm like, the best chance you have of like finding someone you genuinely like is to just surround yourself with people doing things that you love to do.
Yes. Oh, totally agree.
So you tell people.
That's what I tell people.
And that's
That's
good
what I tell
advice.
people.
That's good advice.
That's like part of the reason I did AIDS Life Cycle.
Is it really?
It's a part of it.
I love that.
Well, but not
Whatever
not for
gets-
romantic
no,
love,
whatever
like
gets you out there.
community
Yeah.
love too. Like
No, I agree.
very healing.
Very healing, very good. It's nice to be, the older I get, the more I'm like, oh, I think that the way that we live our lives in America can be very isolating. And I deeply need to be part of a community.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I put myself in community environments, whether it's volunteering, whether it's comedy, whether it's literal family units when I'm babysitting, like, I think that has been really good for me.
That's beautiful. I
Beautiful.
feel like that's something I haven't learned yet. I was like talking to my therapist this morning.
Me too.
This
And
morning?
We
yeah,
both had
right
therapy
before
this
this.
morning.
Okay,
Oh my
I'm,
God, me
I'm
too.
feeling
Wow,
left out.
10
What
a.m.
the? Mine's on Mondays.
Wow.
Okay, start of the week. Something to think about for the rest of the week. No, but I feel like I was raised in this way where like it was just us, like our family unit, very isolated. We don't want to like owe anybody anything. That was a big thing. Like even like carpools or sleepovers. My mom's like, no, we don't want to owe them.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, so yeah, it's very isolating. So I don't really understand like community love.
yeah.
But I like it.
It took me a long time to learn as well. I think I had
Yeah.
a similar experience growing up. But even still, I have a hard time. Like, I can be very giving, but it's hard for me to receive. Like, I have a hard time letting people do favors for me.
Oh.
What's your love language that you like to
M-
receive?
Maybe words of affirmation.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
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 But I don't particularly
you-
like to receive, like, gifts or tasks for me. Like somebody offered to do my laundry the other day, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I feel like I'd say no to that too. For
Right?
some
I was
reason.
Yeah, it feels very personal.
It feels very personal. I was
Yeah.
like, I also was like, I don't want to make you touch my stuff.
Yeah, my dirty
Yeah.
clothes.
My dirty clothes.
But that's nice.
I know, but exactly. I don't know.
The thought is nice.
The thought
Thought
is
is
nice.
nice. Thank
And
you to that person.
Exactly. And I would like to open myself up to a place where I can accept something like that, but I'm just not there yet. So
Well, America is like the isolation. Like, do it on your
Every
own. Every
man
do it
man
on
for
your
himself.
own. Yeah.
It's
Climb
a
to the top.
dog world.
American exceptionalism, where we're sort
Yeah.
of like, I can do it. I don't need you. The libertarian mindset, God forbid. Scary. And then I also think like remote work, the pandemic, all of it
It's
sort of,
all worse now.
yeah, it all contributed to this real deepening feeling of isolation. And like, I'm sure that social media doesn't help.
Definitely
So-
not. Stay off TikTok, kids.
I do think you should stay off TikTok. Not
I
to,
want
not to be
to.
like
I really do
a
want
weird
to.
old boomer about it,
No,
but like,
I agree. Wait, so with the whole love thing, I wanted to ask also, have you been in love before? And like how many times, if ever?
I think I've been in different kinds of love for sure. Yeah,
like
for sure.
were any of them a love that felt like
Oh, this could go forever.
Yes.
No, but I mean, I think like, especially in your 20s, relationships are all about learning how to be in relationships.
yeah.
And so it's less likely that you'll get married. And like, it's just about learning how to be a good partner, learning what things work for you, what things don't work for you. There's like only one partner in like my litany where I'm like, oh, you would have been like a really good parent and like family person, but I just don't think that I saw that with us.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you will be such
You'll do it for someone
you will be
else.
such a beautiful choice for somebody. And I have been trying to set him up with some people.
Aw.
Always looking out.
Always looking at. But he's such a catch, and I'm like, and what was hard about our breakup, where I was like, I wish I wanted this.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. It was also a weird part of my life. Like my dad had just died, and I'd just been through a bunch of grief stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it's
other things going
a lot of
on.
other things going on. But he was like I think that was like he was a good person.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
When was that?
He's an ex-boyfriend twice removed. So
Is that what we're saying
yeah,
now?
2 boyfriends ago. This was like
Wait, how many serious partners have you had?
Well, I've been in a lot of like 2-year-long relationships.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's
Like-
only so much time you have.
I know.
That's like how often I switch apartments.
That's so funny. I've been in like 3 2-year-long relationships, give or take. Some
Whoa.
were 1.5, some were 2.5.
So have
the
you ever had
averages.
a like hoe phase? Experimenting.
Oh yeah, for sure. In
Mhm.
between each of those people, I go through a little where I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
It's
but
game
then
on.
yeah, but then I'm like, so much sex is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's great,
Yeah.
but some of it's so bad, and I'm like, I also really hate having to like communicate with people. So
I,
like,
I think having sex with someone for the first time is the worst. I hate it.
I'm like, that's the only good part. Where I'm like,
What?
oh, it's really
How?
No,
exciting.
sometimes I think
Oh,
it's good.
I like hate.
Yeah, but then
Do you guys like close your eyes during sex or?
sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I like hate.
Not at all.
I hate looking.
No blinking. You hate
No
looking.
blinking. Staring
Like-
contest.
Like once I'm more comfortable with them and like what their face looks like, I'm like,
You
oh,
hate looking at their face.
yeah. To
Okay,
I
there's
have-
a
I
lot
have-
here.
Well, I was gonna say I
There's
don't
a
close
lot.
my
I know,
eyes, but I don't
sorry.
look
I-
at their face.
I think I have a.
I'm looking at the
issues.
whole thing. I'm like, I have worked very hard to be comfortable with sex and to like enjoy my sex life, and so now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look
Yeah.
at the
It's
whole.
intimidating to look in the eyes.
Oh, I'm not like staring into their eyes.
Like,
but I'm
that's,
gonna,
like,
glance
intimate.
down
Are you like
and,
looking at their body
Yes,
or
I'm
like?
looking at their body. I'm looking at
Okay.
like them fucking me. I'm,
Well, see, with glasses, it's like, do they stay on or do they come off?
I think
And then if
come
they come off,
how bad is
like,
your eyesight? I have contacts, so I never wear my glasses.
Yeah,
like
same.
at
I've
blurry.
never had-
blurry unless they're like this close.
See,
Yeah.
that's exactly why I have really bad eyesight, and I have never had sex with my glasses on because I'm like, it's just too much. But then if I have my glasses off, I can't see them. I'm like, that
Yes.
is so weird.
It is weird.
Very dystopian.
I can like see them, but it's like blurred.
I can't at all. Well, yeah, it's so blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the morning.
So you just lie there like as if you're sleeping,
Yeah,
eyes fully
so
closed.
eyes fully closed.
I could be dead for all they know.
You don't
No,
want to
I'm
like revel
kidding.
in it, enjoy in it.
So when I like start to get to know them more and we have sex more, I love to like look at their face when they're like going through it and like coming. I'm like, that's so hot.
That's the only time I close my eyes. I'm like, that's gross.
Really?
I'm like, don't show me that.
I like to see them going through something.
I actually feel weird that when people watch me come.
I hate when people watch me come. I truly, but
And
Me
like I can like
too.
dissociate like
Some people
not,
really
they're not
like
like
it,
watching
but I'm
me,
like-
but then the comments after like
Wait,
that was
have you
hot.
guys seen Beef?
no, not yet.
Yes.
Okay, there's one sex scene in Beef that's like so hot. Like I feel like usually in like sex scenes in like TV shows or whatever, or like
When she
whatever,
says,
they
I
don't
want you to
really.
spit on it.
Does she say
Yeah.
that? I don't know.
I'm
It just
into
like
that.
felt so real to me in like
Uh-huh.
a really hot way. I was like getting flashbacks to like 2 days ago. I was like,
That's
I
nice.
said that. I said that.
I said spit on it.
I do think the best sex is the sex where you get to think about it later. Like you're at work, and
Yes.
you're like, oh, that was
Like,
nice.
that was
Oh, and you
good.
get like a little jolt in
Yeah,
your body,
you're
and
like,
you're like,
"Ooh,
that
Yeah.
was hot.
That was
Can we
nice."
do it again?
Yeah.
That's why I feel like that only happens when you're like usually the first couple of times when it's like the novelty's also still there.
I don't
I think
so.
I think it depends. I also think the longer you have sex with somebody, like it gets better, way
Yeah.
better, depending on who it is. But then there's also like I'm of two minds. Firstly, I'm like if I can almost always tell if I'm gonna have good sex with somebody if I'm like, okay, this is electric, like the vibe. But then I'm like, I dated a narcissist and it was like that with him, and now I'm like, wait, maybe I shouldn't date people like that anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
that's a bad sign.
If the sex is electric.
If
'cause
the
they're
sex is too good, yeah, because
obsessed with themselves.
yes, exactly.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, if they're obsessed with themselves, how is the sex so good?
Just because it's like kind of like acting. Like I'm like I won't really date. I used to before I met this new partner. I was like, I'm not dating charming people anymore. And but now I think he's very charming. But
I feel like charm is so important.
I like charm.
no, I'm like that's a lie.
You
Wait,
think
what
it's like a con?
Charm's a lot.
I think
but
it's a
aren't you
con.
charming?
Yeah, I think it's shitty when I do it too.
Oh,
I'm like, well,
yeah.
because I really like, and this goes back to how when you're a comedian, first dates are all good because you're good. I'm like, oh, I'm being manipulative by being like performative,
Oh my god, I
by
never thought
performing
that.
for
Yeah.
somebody, by not, you know.
I thought for me, because I feel that way too when I'm on dates. It's just that I'm like carrying the conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't feel like guilty. Like, oh, I tricked you. I'm like, why didn't you help me lift that?
Yeah, but
yeah.
I think if it is, you're robbing them of the ability to connect with you because you're marionetting the conversation.
That's true.
That's how it feels when I'm doing
yeah,
it.
I feel
can
like
see that.
kind of it's also like social anxiety for me. Like
Yeah.
I don't want there to be silence.
Yeah.
Like at all.
It's hard to not.
yeah.
It's hard to not.
But it also I feel like with dating there's like a sense of like winning or losing too.
What do
I-
you mean by that?
Yeah, what do you
like,
mean?
Like
Are you gonna walk
like
away?
you want to get as many people as possible to want you, and if you don't want them, you kind of win. You know what I mean?
But it's not
I
serious.
hate that it's
not
like
serious
that,
stuff.
though.
But that's
I
it
wanna,
doesn't
like,
have to be
absolve
like
myself of that.
You can,
Yeah.
and you can opt out of that. And I think like that's a little bit of the dating app culture. We have so much optionality, access to so many different people that it now really is like a numbers. Okay, like here's an example. I been seeing this person, haven't slept with anybody since we met. Haven't deleted my Hinge because I love going to see the number. Genuinely.
But that's what we're talking about.
But that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so it's
Like,
like
how long have you been seeing this person?
like 5 months maybe.
That's a long
Whoa.
time.
Is that a long time?
I mean, I don't know.
For me.
Recently, I've been like having month-long things.
Well, I
with
have
people, and then
clarifying
I'm just like,
questions
that's
actually
over.
to know whether that's a long time because it depends how often you were seeing each other.
Like once a
during those 5
week.
months. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's like, no, that's
so I was like,
a,
if it was like
maybe
once a
once
month,
every
you could have
10
only went on to
days.
5 days.
I think I have like a warped sense of like when something is like working or not. Like if I only see someone like once a week, I'm like, I think they like hate me. I'm like low priority to them.
Interesting. I am the opposite way where I prefer I won't see somebody more than once a week in the beginning for literally like the first 4 months.
wow.
In the
Yeah, 'cause
beginning.
So how
I need the
often are you
time
texting them?
again.
We'll text here and there, you know, if we want to
Wow.
text a lot, great. Well, the
I feel
thing is,
you're
is
so
like,
healthy.
thank you for saying that. I've done so
You're
much.
so evolved.
You're so healthy.
I took hitting a rock bottom, I promise. But I'm like, I don't, first of all, I don't want to overexpose myself to someone.
Uh-huh.
And let them get sick. I like to sort of like breadcrumb it, which is in its own way very manipulative. And then I'm also like, I want to weed out love bombers.
Yes.
And so if I'm like, okay, I see you once a week. Also, I have a fucking busy life.
You have a
Right.
life, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I work 2 jobs. I'm trying to do stand up all the goddamn time. I'm trying to write. Like I have a busy life. And like if you like a boyfriend and I once broke up because I was like, I can't see you more than twice a week. We'd been dating for like 2 years at this point.
Oh wow.
And he was like, but I'm like, I'm in my I'm building my career. I can't dedicate
yeah.
2 full days out of the week. That's so
That's a lot.
lot.
Right.
That's so much
I
time.
think that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I'm like
true.
scraping the bottom of the barrel for free time.
Yes, dude, I have no free time. And then
Yeah.
it's like once you start like giving out of your cup and it doesn't get refilled, like I need time by myself. I need time to clean
Yes.
my apartment. I need time to do my laundry. Like it's just too much.
I'm
so
looking at all the stray hairs building up on my bathroom floor. I'm like,
Yes.
I want to vacuum. I
Yes.
want to vacuum. Every morning when I'm pooping, I'm like, I really want to vacuum
you
this
should get one that
bathroom.
you can use.
It hasn't
when you're
happened
not
yet.
looking at TikTok.
When I'm not looking at TikTok, because I've been trying to like stop that. I'm just like, I haven't done it yet. Haven't had time.
Get a vacuum that you can use while you're on the toilet. And like reach
Yeah,
around. I feel like that's-
cordless.
Yes, exactly. That would be a good use of
Wow.
multitasking.
Yeah.
So when you're hooking up with somebody, 2 questions.
Yes.
First of all, so when you're hooking up with somebody for like a month, how often are you seeing them?
Yeah, I guess like it depends on the person. I guess like once a week, right? Or once or twice a week. I don't know. I like really like
Twice
this.
a week.
I
The
would like
masking.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking. This most recent person, it's like once a week. And I'm kind of getting over him. I was just like telling you this. I was like, I'm over you. Like he texted me or like he DM'd me on Instagram. Like, and then he's like, what are you doing this week? And I was like, oh, I'm like free at the end of the week. He didn't respond for 24 hours. And I was like so annoyed with him. I'm like, I'm over you. You clearly don't give a shit about me.
He said one day.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm like, maybe he was figuring
Am
out
I
what his
being
schedule was
insane?
like.
Yeah, maybe he was
No.
busy, or maybe he
I
was just like was
also-
busy.
I let people show me who they are. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
really try to pay attention to the things that people are doing. So if people are hitting me up to hang out, I'll go hang out with them. If people are not hitting me up, I'm not gonna text them. So I'm like, what did he say after 24 hours? Was he like,
he was just like, let's party.
all right, never mind.
yeah, never mind.
Never
I
mind.
roll. Let's party.
Literally never mind.
What does that mean?
What
Let's
does that mean?
party.
No, see, that's what I mean. Is like, okay,
I don't know.
not
Well-
specific, not asking you. Like, if he wanted to hang out, he'd be like, okay, here's a
Yeah,
date,
when are you
time.
free?
yeah.
Well, this is
Well,
like
he asked you when you were free, but once you told him, he could be like, great, I'm free Friday.
Yeah.
exactly like what exact day.
What exact
See,
day.
I think when
It-
you don't lower your standards, you have less options, and then
Which
you
is
feel, and then you
good.
feel anxious that you have less
Yeah.
options. So then you start moving that standard bar again,
you-
and that's when you get into trouble.
Yes, I totally
Yeah.
agree. Which is why you need to prioritize time with yourself.
Yes.
And also, like, to me, I sort of was able to reframe it where I'm like, now it's a relief when somebody sort of like crosses themselves off my list because I'm like,
Mm.
great, now I don't have to put energy to that anymore.
Mm.
So it's like, you know, and I'm very staunch about, you know, the things that I want and the things that I'll accept. And so somebody being like, let's party, I'm like, you need something more concrete.
Yeah. And it kind of sucks because, like, last time we saw each other, I thought we kind of had, like, a breakthrough a little bit. Or, like, just, like, where
In
the
what way?
feeling kind of, like, changed.
Mm.
Because, like, you know, it was, you know, it's like we're hanging out at night, we fuck, sleep over, okay, bye. We'll text a few times throughout the week, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, last time, we, like, actually got to hang out the next day, and it was, like, sober and, like, nice and fun and cute. And then...
Interesting.
And then it's like, okay, pulled back.
Mm.
maybe you pull back.
Yeah.
What was your
Whatever.
childhood like?
My childhood?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Give me like the TLDR. Like, okay, for example, both my parents were alcoholics when I was growing up. I experienced a lot of neglect, and so I tended to gravitate towards very neglectful partners or people who were
Mhm.
dealing with substance abuse issues or people where like I was sort of like chasing that affection. And then by the
Mhm.
time I dated the guy who I think is a really good guy, his
Yeah.
affection was fully there. And I was like, oh God, like I don't want that. So then those were the things that I had to work on to be able to like, you know, get with it.
Yeah. I think my problem is I'm trying to make everything into something. Like, I'm like I won't let things just be what they are. I'm like trying to make something romantic when it's just like, okay, this guy truly just wants like a convenient fuck. And like,
Well, maybe you want a boyfriend.
I do want a boyfriend.
Okay, then stop dating people who just want a convenient fuck.
Well, you never, yeah.
You never know.
It wasn't clear.
Sure, it wasn't
But
clear.
maybe you need to be
but
more
after,
upfront.
yeah. Or no, I don't think that's it. I think you can bury the lead, but I think you need to pay attention to what they're doing, how they're hitting you up, and like what their actions are. And if you're a month in and you're feeling like, this guy is not showing up in the ways that I'm interested in, then you can move on. Like you have to be sort of ruthless in your clearing process.
Okay.
I don't think you have a clearing process.
Is that true?
John Anthony.
You just
No,
totally
because
threw
I
her under the
feel
bus.
like if
Oh my god, mom and dad.
no, not in like a you'll fuck anyone. Like if you get bored of someone and this happens and then they like go away, but then when they come back you're like back on the train again.
Oh, you're talking about like
you've been going on this month fling with someone, you get bored, you're like, okay, I'm done hooking up with this guy, and then a few months later he hits you up again and you like go through this like month process again.
You're right.
Instead of being like, I already know.
You're willing to give people
sort of the third
chances
cycle
to grow
with this one guy.
All right, never mind.
Sorry. What?
No.
Please.
I'm never minding to the third cycle. Like I feel like twice fine.
The third cycle.
Third time.
Well, I'm just kind of like, what didn't I like about him? Like, he checks all the boxes. He's like crazy about me. He's like
Is
really
he crazy about you if he's like not
this guy.
Oh, a different guy.
A different guy that I'm third cycling in my head. I'm
Third
like, should I
cycle.
go back and like be like, do you want to have dinner this week?
Wait, well, what didn't you like about him?
I don't know. I think I was just like not really sexually attracted to him. But it's not like the sex was bad. But
Do you think that that's something that could grow over time and like blossom, or you need it to be like?
I think I have like a mental block of having sex with him for some reason, and I don't know why.
Oh.
What it is.
Oh.
Like we have amazing conversation. He's very thoughtful. Has a career. He he is rich, which helps. He like will check up on me still, and I'm like kind of like mean to him. So I'm like, what is it
What
about
is that
him that I
about?
don't like?
Maybe
don't
Do you
know.
want mine?
Yeah, please.
Tell us.
To me, I'm like the fact that you seem a little bit more attracted to somebody who's paying less attention to you. I'm like, what does that tell us? Do you think? Never mind.
The heaviest sigh.
I have enjoyed a love bomber in the past.
Yeah, she has.
So I don't know if that's the problem. And with my I had a relationship for 5 years.
Whoa.
It was from when I was 20 to 26.
which
What?
would be
That's
6
so-
years actually.
Well, it was like later.
End of 20,
End
early
of 20.
26.
Yeah, correct.
That's just incredible. That's such a long time.
It is, and it was very healthy, I think.
Oh, that's nice.
But I was
Well-
like not attracted to him sexually. But
For 5 years or just at the end?
I would say
The sex wasn't happening for a while.
it was
Really?
it wasn't always so bad, but it wasn't dynamite. It wasn't the dynamite that I was looking for. And honestly, so I grew up like very like insecure about my body, like blah blah blah, like sexually, like very prudish. That's the concept of the pod. That's the genesis.
'Cause we
so
both were.
I felt like I couldn't really like release all of that while I was having sex, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted more.
Yeah.
So that's also like why I broke up with him. I was just like, I know that love is supposed to feel different.
Oh, well, good for you for being brave enough to do it. That's a very hard thing to do. That's
Thank
amazing.
you. Well, he also said that he'd never marry me, so.
Fuck off. I mean, still, good for you.
Yeah.
I think I wonder if something I think about myself is I had wrestled with and still wrestle with very serious self-esteem issues, had a very hard time liking myself. And I think that was reflected in the people I chose. And so when somebody liked me, I didn't like me. And so I was like, ew.
Wow.
Oh, so you were sort of chasing the unavailable person.
Always. People who would breadcrumb me, like just getting that dopamine hit. And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I understand that because I don't want to be around me.
Oh.
You know?
Wow.
Oh, that's so sad.
I mean, I'm
know
fine
she's
now.
healthy
yes, yes, yes.
I also think childhood is very hard for
It
everybody. It
is.
doesn't matter the conditions of your life. I think it's very hard to be a kid, and all of us are healing from that as an adult.
Yes.
Every single one of us.
Mhm.
So
I think I was so desperate to be chosen
yeah.
for like as a child, and then that's what manifested in my love life.
Ooh.
And that like I
Is it
would
middle child syndrome?
no, it's more complicated than that. And like people have daddy issues, mommy issues. I think I had older brother issues.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That
Wanted him
explains
to
a
hang out
lot.
with you.
Well, so my older brother's also gay. And
Competition.
yeah, well neither of us came out until we were in our 20s.
Whoa.
I was 21, he was 23.
Having gay sex before that and just not telling the family.
I
or
mean, I don't know what
Did you grow
his
up
story was, but I wasn't.
religious.
No. I mean, like, no.
Interesting.
Yeah, not religious, but very traditional family values.
Got it.
So, like, my whole life was, like, family, and I thought, like, at the time, the only way to have family was to be
Man and woman
a
in a relationship.
straight person. Yeah. And that, like, that was the threat. Like, being gay would be the greatest threat to, like, having a life.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That, like, as I knew it.
Yeah.
And so, but when I was a kid, my little brother, like, my older brother, I knew I was different. Like I was playing with Barbies and shit. Like I was like really gay as a kid, and I
do think all little kids are gay.
Yeah.
I really think that.
I wanted to be chosen by someone who
Yeah.
couldn't choose me because he was so in the closet himself and so like
So he
uncomfortable with
yeah.
himself.
So he was rejecting you because he saw
Yes,
himself in you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Aw.
yes. Oh my god. And I
Family
think that
dynamics are so tough.
yeah, and I think that's what happened with my first love experience too.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I think like for a while I was like so desperate to be chosen. I was like, I just want to be picked. I want to be accepted. I want to be
Yeah.
chosen. And I had to work through that.
I wonder if there's any part of that feeling that also comes from like wanting to be an actor, you know, like wanting to be the one.
Or what chicken or the egg? Chicken or
yeah,
the
yeah,
egg?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe that thing is what pushed you to want to go be an actor.
Yeah.
Or it is one of the many things that pushed you to go be an
Yeah.
actor. But it's like very
Pick me.
yes. It's also
I was
hard
like, pick me.
to stand in front of somebody and be like, I am showing you all of who I am. Can you see me?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'd rather close my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like when Andrea has sex.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, I think there's something she
something
doesn't want to
there.
see there.
yeah. Well,
It's too intimate.
look, I will. I was having sex with. Okay, so my February man. He like literally would like be like, "Look at me," during sex, which was kind of hot. I was like, "Okay, I'm
Ooh.
looking." Yeah. So then I was like, "Okay, maybe I should like take the note."
Yeah, take the note.
Wait, were you ever a prude?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
for
would you have
sure.
identified as a prude?
Yeah, for sure. I was a prude in high school. I didn't have sex until I was 18.
Same.
I was also I didn't get hot until I was like 24.
Okay.
I can relate. I
Genuinely.
got my lip fillers.
Wait, is that why your lips look so good? I was
Yeah.
literally thinking about that during this podcast. I was
Thank
like, is
you.
it
She
her
did her
lipstick?
filler.
I'm
She
like,
did her filler right.
Is that how
Thank
she
you.
did she line her lips?
I did line them.
But they look great.
Thank you.
So
You
natural.
have great lips too.
Thank you very much.
But wait, what happened to you? Why'd you
No.
suddenly get hot at?
No love for my lips.
Yeah, no, your lips are great.
Great.
They're natural.
You should also get filler.
I kind of want to.
I know guys that do.
I want like a little flip maybe.
You could get a flip, but I
You
don't
have
know
a
if your mustache.
Well, this is just temporary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
that's not the final.
It's the phase I'm in right
I
now.
think
Oh, okay.
a flip doesn't really do a thing. You should just go
I
for
like a
half
flip. I have done a flip,
I'm scared.
Oh, okay.
but
You have?
yeah, but it goes away quick.
Oh.
It's like it really
It's
Like
because
how-
so
you're
subtle
like-
too.
less than 3 months. It's very subtle.
Oh.
So you should just probably go get a
No.
half syringe. But anyway, yeah, I was a prude. I got hot like 24.
Is that post blonde?
That's pre-blonde.
Pre-blonde.
As I was like transitioning into blonde.
Mhm. The
Yeah, and
final
then I
stage.
think in the last 2 years, the last year and a half, I got really hot.
Okay.
So I'm sort of experiencing a second round sexual awakening.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of it's a thing. Like after you get hot, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
It
is a
everything
thing.
changes.
Everything does change. People do treat you differently.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like no big loss if one person doesn't like you, because it's like there's literally another one.
I
right the other
do
like
feel
if-
that
go
way where,
outside.
like,
There's another
Go
one.
outside.
Yes.
Get out there.
I have enough options where which is what allows me to be so
Choosy.
choosy and so specific about what I want, and like be
Mhm.
able to, be so ruthless about my decision making, because I will always be able to find somebody to have sex with,
Mm-hmm.
which is a position of privilege, obviously.
Uh-huh.
It is.
It must be said.
It must
Must
be
be
said.
Cannot be understated.
Pretty privilege is so real.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
Should
So
we?
yeah, I was a prude.
I was gonna. I think do our little closing.
Yeah.
segment.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Don't be alarmed.
Don't
We're
be
gonna
alarmed.
sing a
We're gonna
little bit.
sing. We're gonna
Thank you so much for the warning. I did really need it. I did really
My
need
voice
it.
is feeling shoddy this week, but whatever.
She's texting. She doesn't even care.
Yeah, this
it's
is better.
fine.
This is better.
It's better. Don't
Okay.
listen to us. Glimmer of hope.
Was that good for
loved
you?
that.
She looked up from texting.
She did look up,
So
she was
it
like,
was effective.
It was very effective.
So this is our
No,
set.
I get to say it.
Okay,
Because you
please.
said the thing.
Yes.
At the
No,
beginning.
please. I'm choosing you.
Choose me.
I'm picking you to say this.
Oh my god, that feels so validating.
Does it?
So healing. No, I don't need to. I don't need to be chosen anymore. I chose myself.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
Glimmer of Hope. This is our segment we do at the end of every episode where we talk about something that is making us look forward to life. What's getting you through it right now? What's making you happy? What's the light at the end of the tunnel? You'll go last unless you feel
Okay.
compelled to
No, no,
speak
no, no,
right
no.
now, just so you have time to like think,
No, go for it.
like
Go for it.
process.
I want to see what you guys pick.
I have something I can go first.
Go,
I feel
Jam.
like I always go
Go,
first. I'm
Jam.
like,
Joe, go. Maybe you're
Uh,
more positive than me.
I am doing my reading. My read through of my play is happening on Sunday for the playwrights group at Boston Court. So I'm excited to hear it out loud with real actors.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, it's on Mother's Day. And my play has a really crazy mother in it. So that feels interesting to be happening.
Asked her.
Yeah. Oh my god, Toni Collette, where are you? I have a play for you.
Gosh.
She would be amazing.
I was just listening to her on a podcast. She's so soft spoken in real life.
She's Australian, right?
And
I know.
Australian.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty trippy.
Yeah, she's like fun and like unassuming, which is like whoa. Because you know
She should have gotten an Oscar for Hereditary, and that's what I'll say.
I've never seen Hereditary.
The
'cause I'm
last
too
30
scared.
minutes
Really?
goes so off the realm.
It does. Agree.
And
Full
also,
agree.
I'll say this: the Academy Awards do not respect horror at
No,
all. They
but
don't give a shit.
Her performance was incredible.
Except for Get Out.
Except for Get Out.
Deserve it.
I'm glad that you said that about the last 30 minutes, though,
Yeah.
because I was like, you guys lost me.
Yeah, no, they go off the
You
rails.
lost
But
me.
up until then, perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that in a movie though, but I'll watch it and report back.
Okay.
Okay.
Group chat.
Group chat.
My glimmer of hope. One of my favorite boyfriends from out of town is coming this weekend, so I'm looking forward to finally getting some exciting dick.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
Is that
Cool.
all right with you guys?
That's very
Sure.
all right with
You're
me.
you're importing it? Is he staying with you?
No.
Oh.
It's weird. We've like known each other for a year at this point, and it'll be like, oh, when we're in town, we'll like have a little rendezvous.
Love.
Yeah, and it's always like really crazy. So like I went through a period of like I don't know if I can handle all of that right now. You know? And then yeah,
like the sex?
the sex.
Oh.
I was just like I don't know if I want to go through that right now.
What do you
Go through
What on
that.
earth do you mean by that?
Like why? What's wild about it?
Yeah, I'm like,
stop being so
go through.
prudish.
So his dick is like curved up
Oh.
and it's big. So it really hits
So it's
your
like hitting your
G spot. So you may like
Can
wet
you
the
feel
bed
like the
everywhere.
difference?
Whoa.
And that's the only penis that's made me do that.
Oh, squirt.
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah. So I was like, and it was when that happened, he was staying at his friend's house and it was all over their sheets. And good thing they had a washer dryer in unit. Wow.
Yes.
Rich. So we could just, take care of it. But I was like, whoo-wee. Oh my God. And then I was like, that was so intense. I need a break.
Yeah, I get that.
Wait,
And
what's
then-
squirting again? Like
It's
what is
coming.
it?
It's
It's
coming.
coming.
Like what is vagina cum?
It's like
made out
liquid.
it's it's
of? I
like
know what. I
it's
know
like
what
vaginal
penis cum
liquid
is.
and probably a little bit of pee. I don't know.
Probably.
Okay.
It hasn't happened since, but it's like
Maybe
it's
this
like
weekend.
It's like the passion that I need that some Silver Lake boys are lacking.
Yeah,
Real.
Ooh.
real.
I just need a Miami boy to really
Did
turn me.
that's such a Miami
Turn
inside
me.
out.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Have you gone out to Miami to visit him?
Not to visit him, but yes.
Well, not to visit him.
But you visited him while you were in Miami.
Yes.
Correct. I used one man's money to get me a plane ticket out
Okay, I need to be living my life like you.
to see somebody else.
I need to figure out how to make this work for me. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
feel confident you
Wow.
could figure it out if you wanted to.
Yeah, you really put your mind to it.
You should teach a class. Yeah, wow.
Okay, what's your glimmer of hope?
I was just going to say that I'm looking forward to summer.
It's beautiful.
When do you define the start of summer for you?
To me, it's already summertime. I also,
You think?
yes, I used to do this thing where every Memorial Day I'd quit my job and I didn't get another one until Labor Day.
the whole summer
The
off?
whole summer off.
Wow.
Just like school.
Just like school, genuinely. I know I have too many bills to do that.
Yeah.
But I really do. Summertime for me is like I'm a whole different person. It's basically a drug. I like am so. Everybody in my life knows that if they email me during the summer, they won't be getting an answer back until fall.
Oh my god, thank God we caught
that's
you.
amazing.
Genuinely. I won't answer my DMs. I'm like so off grid.
Do you have plans? Are you going anywhere?
Yes. Well, I have a wedding.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Maybe the same wedding.
Maybe the same wedding.
I doubt it.
It's small. You never know.
It's in North Carolina.
Oh, mine's in New York City.
Oh.
So I'm going to the
brag about it.
I'm going to the bachelorette, and then I'm going to the wedding
Wait, where are you staying?
in New York. I'm
Yeah.
staying at my friend's place.
Okay, good. good,
That's
good.
the
'Cause I was like,
way.
to go
Wait,
to
when
New
are you
York and have to
going?
stay in a
So
hotel
expensive. I'm going the 14th through the 18th
Of June.
of June.
Oh, I'll be there.
Oh,
I'm going the 17th.
Let's link.
You are?
Okay. Yeah.
Jelly.
And then I'm going to Fringe Festival this year in August.
For Edinburgh.
Which fringe?
Edinburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sick.
Are you performing?
Major.
Wait, what's your
major.
show?
I'm
it.
I'm taping. I'm special in September, so I'm just running the show that I'm gonna do there. I'm only there for a week, but I will be putting up my show. Yeah.
Oh
For what?
my god.
For what?
What do you mean?
Comedy
for what?
Central?
No.
or-
No, for like an online comedy production company.
That's
Amazing,
awesome. Wait, do you
amazing.
know where you're gonna film in LA? This
We're gonna film in LA, either at the Lyric or at a military base in Santa Monica.
Random.
Well,
I picked
was
the
like,
lyric.
No.
They
It's
don't feel the
it's
same.
they're not the same, but it's Doctor Strangelove themed. If you've seen that movie. All right, never mind.
I have.
Yeah. So
Tell
for
her.
the cultured
Tell
people
her,
in the
and all the
audience,
people listening.
it's like a little military theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, then
That's
maybe
why it's
do
in
it
the military
there.
base.
Yeah, that's why I'm military base.
Yes.
A little like
Okay.
CIA moment.
Ooh.
MK Ultra.
spy.
You know,
Yeah.
the good
That's
stuff.
so exciting.
So
Thank you. I'm
we
very
have
excited
an
for it.
international star on
An
our hands.
international star.
Not yet. It's like the first time I've left the country. I'm very excited.
That'll be so
Wait,
fun.
really?
Mhm.
Ever?
Yeah,
oh
basically.
shit.
I mean, I went to
excited for you.
Canada.
Okay, doesn't count.
It's the
Just
same
kidding.
country.
I'm kidding.
Same
Same
country.
Wow, that's a great glimmer of hope.
Yeah, I'm excited about. I'm gonna have a very fun summer, and also because of the strike, none of my friends are working.
So you're all like,
Yes.
So I'm like,
party.
woo! And they're like, Ellory, this is very serious for us. I'm like, I haven't been working for 3 years. Like, get on my wavelength.
I'm gonna go pick it next week, I think.
Come.
Yeah.
I've been out a few times.
I have a friend that's or not really a friend, someone I know, who's organizing, I think, Warner Brothers or Universal.
Sure.
Something like
Ooh.
that.
I've been
Wait,
to a
I
few
was driving
lots.
by the Paramount lot last night,
I
and
passed
there
it
were
yesterday.
tons of Escalades leading into it, and I was like,
Oh.
"What the fuck is happening?" It was like nighttime.
They're picking the new pope.
Exactly. It felt like this is like some secret Hollywood meeting. I was like, the execs
honestly,
are
it
coming
might
in.
be.
Probably.
And
They're
this
like,
is
what are we
actually just
doing?
the Chanel cruise show.
Oh.
Yeah. Random.
Random.
Seems a little like what do you call it? In bad taste.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
Well, go pick it, everybody.
Seriously,
Go pick it, everybody!
Genuinely, yes. Get out there. Bodies are helpful.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I've
Cool.
heard on other
come with you.
podcasts that it's a good way to meet some cuties.
Yeah, there are lots of
that
hotties
aren't
out
working
there.
right now and are just looking.
There are a lot
spend
of
their time
hotties
some-
out there.
somewhere.
Just
Looking
wear
for love.
sunscreen. Stay
Yeah.
out of traffic. Bring your sign.
Ideal.
Ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Whoever has the funniest sign wins.
I know. I
Well, I
didn't
feel like
make
that's
my
a
sign
stiff
funny at all.
competition
It
for
is a
a
stiff
fucking
competition.
writer's
Well, you
strike.
better work on it, honey.
Yeah, I know. I gotta think of something.
Maybe you'll get in the room next time.
Yeah, when they're being paid again.
Real.
Who
At the
knows
end
when?
of this. All right, thank you so much
Yay.
for coming
Thanks,
on.
Ellory.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
This was so fun.
Of course.
Oh my God. Yay.
And this has been Horny for Love. Mwah.